Hello and welcome, everybody, to episode 23, season 2, session 8 of Frauds of Waterdeep. Though strictly speaking, because we did a double-length episode last week, I think this could be considered episode 24. Ooh. Contentious. Just putting it out there.
It wasn't last week.
Last month. Oh, geez, yeah. Okay, so I am joined by Panickety Ben.
Hello.
I am joined by Unpanickety Ben.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm joined by Scotty.
Hello.
Joined by Yorkie.
Hello. Alright.
And I'm joined by, I don't know, like Beedale. That's a terrier, isn't it? That's you, Josh.
Hello.
That's the usual.
Beedale Terrier.
Beedale terrier. Okay, yeah, so we're doing this now. So we've got 4 hours, give or take, on this. Though we have some AV issues that delayed us slightly coming online. But we're here now, and we should have a full session going. Last time, which you can find on YouTube when I publish it, having defeated the Drow forces, which took about 3 hours in game time and about 3 months in real world time. You met the Driders of House Banery that had moved into the temples, the ruins of the Temple of Damathion, towards the north of the Drow area, and kind of struck up a bit of a tentative alliance. They're going to let you use the stairs to the second level. You're not going to dick them around. And your allies, the Hobgoblin forces of Warlord Azrok, have secured passage through the third level under mountain. And they've kind of said, look, we'd really want a route to the Goblin market. So if you can establish a trade route, then we can possibly benefit everybody. But this activity has de facto placed them as enemies of the Xanathar's Guild. And you're sure that Allquest is probably going to debut in back at Skullport for allying against the Xanathar's Guild. However, you've earned the trust of Warlord Azrok, and he considers it the first step towards a corridor of trade through to Skullport from Waterdeep, really. And it occurs to you that if this is a corridor of trade, then clearly it's going to pass through Warlord Azrok's domain and the inevitable toll stations that are likely to pop up every now and again. So Zerelda is Joe isn't able to make it. He's in Cyprus. So I'm going to be playing Zerelda. I kind of gonna play her like this, Sounds
similar to last week.
Yeah, which is I think going to be my DM NPC voice. But we do have Beardy Ben, who is just looks a little bit like. Looks like you should be training a young guy in karate or something.
You need to start putting the bows, the knots in it.
Yeah. Or maybe just training a young kid how to put wax on your car or something.
That'll probably be
and then take it off, because that's a key part of the whole deal as well. Wax on, wax off. I do, however, have a question for Ode. How are you carrying that keg of smoke powder?
I'm imagining
Carefully.
Because it's one of these things that you need to kind of have it on your shoulder style. It's not small.
How heavy, how big the keg is this?
It's if you imagine that this is an adult's head and this is an adult's arm, you're cradling it like that. That's about it. So hold on a minute. It's probably about that. I don't know if that helps you. I don't know. So
is it the size of those beer cakes you buy at Christmas?
Yeah, it's a bit larger than that. That.
It's the size of the kegs the berserkers were carrying in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
they were gunpowder kegs.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good. That's a fair point.
It is highly flammable, incredibly explosive. Would take out a fair chunk of. That's interesting. I might have to.
Of your face.
Oban's big and strong. And not very clever.
Yeah, I'm role playing, honestly.
So
look up considering that I've just leveled up, I'm going to have a look through my spells, see if there's something that will help me carry that.
Thunderwave, you could just like Thunderwave it down the corridor.
Fenn's just floating disc.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if a bard can take that. I hope so.
I think you waste your spell slots.
Yeah, just to move and walk around.
Well, until we get it somewhere safe.
So,
Can you buy a small animal from Warlord Azrok?
Polymorph it into a squirrel.
hire a goblin. Hire a goblin to just carry it around with you.
There's no goblins anymore.
Are there any zombies left?
Oh.
Tensor's Floating Disc is a wizard spell and only lasts an hour.
Just carry it. Just carry it.
He's dead.
Could you decant it into like maybe like 8 other smaller containers?
Good unseen
What? That
servant.
was all carry.
Okay, hold on. Go on, Ode.
I was going to say, could an unseen servant carry?
No, it's too heavy for an unseen servant, I think.
Too heavy for an unseen servant.
It would be fun though, just like barrel just.
Yeah.
Unseen
I don't think there is anything that would allow me to.
Last an hour.
Do you think you could decant it into like 8 or more other things?
I ain't carrying
and strap them to your body. No, he can strap them all to his back and his legs.
Well, can you bring enough of it for the minute and then leave it with the hobgoblins and then pick it up when we get back?
Yeah.
They let us take it as payment. I hardly think they're going to steal it off us now.
By the way, that's not Ignatius who's just talking to
He
you.
knows.
Yeah.
Cool. And
I only know very brief details of
and
that.
there was a half-orc that joined you as well, who's a follower of Mielikki, goddess of the forest. Goddess of really cool nature landscapes. You know when you kind of like turn around a corner and you see something in front of you and you're like, wow, that's fucking beautiful. That's how Mielikki draws her power.
That's my Mielikki.
I thought it was your leaky.
Mielikki.
My leaky, our leaky.
So
Everyone's leaky.
His barrel's leaky.
I hope not. So what's the plan?
For now, just try to lug it around or roll it around.
Okay.
We are going upstairs, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
And
put
also-
it, like, if we get into combat, just tuck it out round the corner or outside somewhere. Be fine.
Yeah, it's not like anyone's going to use fireball.
Yeah. Don't stand anywhere
Only
near
Martin.
Aldred.
Aldred.
You can see if Aldred stands on it, will he get advantage from having a higher perspective when he's shooting his fireballs?
Will he have the high ground?
Yeah. Will he end up like Anakin Skywalker after the high ground? Once
Yeah, if I'm standing on it, yeah.
Looking good in black there, Aldred.
Sounds like you got a bit of asthma though.
So you're going to take it.
Yeah, so basically going to try and lug it around for now. Any kind of combat or any kind of encounter, we'll tuck it away.
Okay. I will be asking you where tucking it away means.
Yes.
Because if you're within, I don't know, half a mile of that, you're probably toast.
Only if they know to hit it, it's fine.
Yeah. There's a lot of D10s getting rolled for damage.
Yeah.
Anyone got resistance to fire?
You would need
I've got weakness,
more
if
than
anything.
that.
Anyone got immunity to fire?
It's more the force from the explosion.
Yeah.
It's going to be thunder damage.
Sonic
Or
damage.
just force, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is the second day, the 22nd of Nighthall, the drawing down, in the year of 3 ships sailing, 1492 by Dale reckoning or 461 by North reckoning, and you find yourselves at the bottom of a set of steps that you believe will lead up to the second level of Undermountain.
Give us a hand with this crate, would you?
I'm ready.
Can't you use one of your new evil powers to convince someone to do it for you?
The stairs are square
I feel
cut.
that's inclined.
The stairs are square cut in stone. There's a low ceiling, and the steps are quite broad and kind of quite deep, but they're not that way, but not very deep that way. As you kind of start to ascend the steps,
Yeah.
with a marching order.
Zerelda at the front, carrying a barrel of explosives.
The rest of
1 mile
us
ahead.
200 foot behind.
I'll do that for you, Ode. She doesn't say.
I'm going to be wanting to be pretty close to last and kind of far away from those explosives. I don't want to fire through them.
I could sneak on up ahead a bit if you want.
Yeah, I want
sounds like a
sneaky
good
sneaky
idea.
first.
Yes, you do that.
Yeah,
If I say to Zerelda, being near the barrel is the safest place to be. If anything, I just wonder what I'll roll on a deception check, really.
You can't convince her of that fact. No amount of deception is going to convince her of that fact. What's the Zerelda's intelligence? What's her intelligence? She's got an intelligence of 10, so she's not.
That's a 25.
Yeah, but it's patently not true.
Does it say danger explosive on the side?
Yeah. Okay, so Fenn, you kind of like sneak your way. So let's have a stealth roll into the tower, please.
Yup.
Okay.
Oh.
You step your way. Aldred, why are you going? Ooh, you actually can't see any of those results.
I can see that you can see the shadows roll in the back.
Okay.
See the shadows of the dice.
Fair enough. And as you kind of stepping up there, you can see with your dark vision that the left-hand side of the stone is worn smooth around about your waist height. That's the kind of like left side as if you were as you're walking up. And the right-hand side there are similar markings, but they're less worn. So the stone is more natural in that way. And in the centre of the steps, they're worn down from long ages of being traversed. And there's no obvious places where you could put a light around this, so whomever built this part of the mountain did not need the aid of light.
Does it look dwarven made like the bottom
Very much so,
corridor was?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you come out into a corridor that extends out in front of you, and there is a door to the left of you.
Is that on the map?
Yes. The doors are it's stone, and it's kind of there's no obvious hinge or kind of pull or anything along those lines. The ceiling is about 20 foot high.
How tall's the door? As tall as the ceiling?
No, the door is probably about kind of 6 foot tops out, maybe 5 foot. Let's say 5 foot.
Ah, it's a dwarf door. Can I investigate the edges of it to see if it looks like it can open?
Yeah. You don't need to make a roll. Kind of you have a look at it, and you can kind of see by just pressing gently against one side, it kind of looks as if it swings open into the room, opening on the from the right hand side of the corridor.
Do you think we should go in, have a look? Or
And
do
the rest
we
of the
go
guys
to
are at the bottom of the steps.
Oh, you've got to go retrieve it if you want this up.
Alright. So is it where I'm stood on the map?
Yes, so that's the door there.
Alright. I'll lean into it to push it open then.
Okay, and you can
Trap
also
time.
see to the actually the corridor extends out that way. So you open it, and you can see that opens out into a very similar corridor heading
Ooh.
down.
I'll wait for the rest of the guys to catch up then.
Okay.
Do any of the you said there was runes around. Is it in a language?
No, they're not runes. Just on where the steps were, the walls are worn down slightly.
Like
and you can feel
someone's touched it a lot.
Yeah, as if someone's ran their fingers as they've kind of like stepped down the steps.
Okay.
And you can feel a soft, gentle breeze across your skin as you're kind of standing in the corridor.
Ooh.
Which way's the breeze coming from?
Down the corridor in front of you. So you're all gathering together at the top of the steps as you're going out?
Yeah, it's sort of like not together, not in like fireball range together.
Oh, can you move yourself to where you are then, please?
Fireball range is 20 feet radius. That's massive.
But in talking distance.
Or if you hold down shift, hold on a minute. I don't want to do that.
We've got a random bit of maps appeared.
Yeah, if you hold on, which one is it? Oh, shift and both mouse buttons, it does a square.
Ah.
If you hold down control and both mouse buttons, it does a cone, a circle. And if you hold down alt and both mouse buttons, it does a cone. And just both mouse buttons
cool.
does a like straight line. And if you target creatures, there's a way in which you can find out how far away they are to you.
Oh, nice.
So as you all gather up here, you can't help but whisper, and you all can tell that sounds carry further than normal. So it's almost as if sounds are amplified, but just by whispering. And it's like, when you go into a library and you almost automatically start to whisper? It's very much like that kind of feeling. There's some resonance around this area that you kind of all naturally are respectful of.
Which way then, guys?
You're quite nice.
Does the stairs look worn like the wall does?
Yeah, in the middle of the steps, it's kind of like shallowed out.
Commonly used route then. Oh, it was at one point. But do you reckon follow the breeze or follow this through this dwarven door?
You could have
can Aldred check for traces of some sort of gelatinous creature?
And how are you going to do that?
I don't know. Just look at markings and see if they're reminiscent of acidic burns rather than being worn away by wear and tear.
Make an investigation roll.
Okay. He's actually not bad at this.
No, you think it's worn down by the wear and tear of hands.
Okay, cool.
The stone in this area is very, very smooth, but there's quite a lot of different types of stone, variations in colour as you're kind of moving along. They're all pretty square and there aren't any great scuff marks, like the door. When Fenn pushed the door slightly open, it didn't catch on anything, and there's no marks to show that it's frequently opened or not.
How heavy was the door? Did it feel like...
Pretty heavy. It's a stone, yeah.
But did it feel like a goblin would struggle to get in and out of this door?
No, as you kind of pressed against it...
Got back into it, basically.
No, you didn't. No, as you pressed against it, it opened pretty smoothly, though you can feel there's some weight that's been moved. So it's pretty well engineered.
Nix, go have a look in that room.
What room?
That room. The one in front of you.
Where is Nix? Nix Chimera Bane. Unless you call me by my proper name, I'm not doing anything.
Nix Chimera Bane. Check out that room.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look. What, this room?
This room.
Oh, this is a bit weird. Ooh, I'm not sure I like this.
And then I'll switch to being able to see through his eyes. What can I see? 120 feet.
Okay, so let me just zoom this out a little.
Who's Nick Chimera Bane, by the way?
It's my owl familiar, who's also who's a bit of a dick.
Oh,
I'm not a dick. I just like dick.
I like the way Paul does familiars.
So you're looking through here, and which I think is that one. The walls go up 15 feet, and then the angle inward to create a peaked ceiling. There are sloped upper walls, and as Nick's Chimera Bane kind of like flies and glides in, red crystals come on, and there's a dim red light comes out, kind of spills its way through the open door out into the corridor a little bit. You haven't really seen, and so to colours enter into your world, whereas before, dark vision is grey, black and white grayscale. This dim light covers everything with reds, but you can start to see the underlying colours a little bit. There are loads of carvings that you can kind of see through there, and as kind of Nyx kind of like flutters and then kind of comes to a little bit of a halt and kind of comes down to land on the ground, like tentacles, like probably not much more than a foot long, start to kind of turn and face him.
I'll snap him back. I'll summon him back to me, and I will recount what I saw. It doesn't look like the most friendly of corridors. It's kind of red with tentacles.
Tentacles?
Yes.
Nice.
How about that we go the way with the clean air?
Yeah. Maybe shut this door behind us?
I like that idea.
Just a thought. So he'll be back with me.
Can we not just cut tentacles?
After you, good sir.
Very well. I'm making my way around the corner.
Yeah, okay. So you can see about halfway down there, and you can kind of take a closer look at the.
I'm going to stealth in behind him to the corner.
Okay, make me a self roll into the tower, please.
Oh, Dwarven fresco, nice.
Cool.
So what you see on the walls, and these kind of go up to maybe about 10 feet up. There's these kind of frescoes along as far as the eye can see, and they depict dwarves doing dwarf stuff. And one of the repeating motifs is the symbol of Damathion, the dwarven god of stuff underground, basically. And there was another temple of Damathion below on the third level, but there are these stony protrusions that kind of come out from where these things have been defaced slightly, and the ones that are closest to you turn and start to writhe and face you. They don't extend out by more than a foot or so, but they kind of like start to writhe as if they're trying to reach out to you. The room is much wider than they are.
These tentacles, they are not too large. I have seen bigger.
Take an inspiration for the level of tentacular joy that you brought to everybody. Oh, so Aldred, you cast in Mage Hour?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Is that not just a given?
I know. I totally forgot to do it before upstairs. I was like, what am I forgetting here?
So the tentacles essentially line the walls, but they're only coming out about a foot.
Yes, that's right.
So as long as you stick to the centre of the room, they're not
You're fine.
in theory, they're not.
Yeah.
We're not going to reach.
In theory.
And as you kind of step back in, these gems up in the ceiling start to glow, and the hallway is filled with dim light, and you can see now that it extends past your vision downwards. There's a set of double doors at the end, and dimly lit with this kind of red sheen over them are two stone armoured dwarves, and stony beards flowing out great helms that conceal their facial features. One of them's got an axe, and the other's got a hammer, and they kind of glace. They look sternly back down the corridor, and there's another corridor that turns off to the left-hand side. The whole thing is...
a better scale, or are they like larger than an actual dwarf?
They're dwarf-sized.
Okay. I see a door with statues of dwarfs.
Sounds valuable.
Should we go have a look then?
I believe this isn't the way to the Goblin Market. We should be careful.
We could find things to sell at the Goblin Market here, though.
What are you looking for in Goblin Market?
Goblins.
I'm looking for Shivyu for 2 reasons. I need to send a message. Maybe the Black Stuff shared that information with you. I can relay messages.
My brief was also brief.
Fair enough. And I also need to buy something off him for a... I'm not sure I'd call him a business partner, but... Yeah.
Is Goblin?
Who, the business partner?
Yes.
No. He's a lot scarier than a goblin.
Is this one always so vague?
Yes.
Well, I go first. I'll start making my way down the corridor.
I'll follow.
Is anyone else going in the room? Because I'm...
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not-
Half-Orcs are forging ahead here.
Half-Orc Pride. Ode, Carrion? Like, I'm actually saying that to you in character. Are we going in,
Zerelda
or-
decides that she's gonna, grow a pair. Come along too.
I'm going to tuck where I am now, that is where I'm tucking the barrel.
Okay.
Drop the barrel marker!
Yeah, I wonder if I've got a barrel marker.
I'm gonna.
Do you know what? It looks very much like that.
Leave the barrel.
I'll stand behind.
Mimic. Oh, no. Explosive mimic. That's what we need.
Turns out the barrel's a mimic the entire time.
It's all right. We've already had a fire mimic, so
Yeah, we have.
explosive
We
one.
have! We have!
Kamikaze.
So as we get closer, are the tentacles doing anything different?
Yeah, and no, they start to writhe. It's as you kind of step down, it's almost as if like your proximity kind of causes them to trigger, and they kind of start to reach out for you. And as you go past them, they kind of start to reach out towards Fenn. It's disconcerting, but there's nothing. They're not like erupting for the wall further or anything like that.
Yeah, we're not getting longer than a
Yeah.
foot. Right, okay.
Do you recognise
We
them?
might be getting
Are they
disturbed.
part of your leaky?
You're leaky.
This does not seem natural to me. Certainly not from surface world, no?
Would these tentacles remind me of a mind flare by chance?
Mind flayers have got tentacles, and these are tentacles. So
These don't seem
I
dwarf.
find it unnerving. I feel like this is just me. I find it so unnerving.
yeah.
Does someone want to hit one of them and see what happens?
Be my guest.
I think we leave tentacles alone.
I'd rather know what they did before we were in the middle of them.
Give him a tickle.
What have I got?
How about this? I'm gonna throw a copper
No fire.
coin at one. No, yeah. So I kind of just gesture at a coin. This first.
Yeah, why not?
Don't
Yeah.
waste coins.
Zerelda dives at the corner.
I throw 1 copper coin directly at a tentacle and see what happens.
You miss.
It goes like donk.
It clips against the tentacle and drops to the ground. The tentacle doesn't really notice it. It doesn't seem to like try to catch it or batter it away or anything like that.
Okay, I will remove 1 copper.
I think we're gonna get interrupted.
Can't you just mage hand pick it back up again?
Wait,
I don't have mage hand.
We could feed it a drow arm.
Ode, have you got mage hand?
Who was that, sorry?
Ode, have you got mage hand?
I don't think so.
Shit, if none of us got mage hand now.
Yeah. You know, a mage hand.
I have drow hand. I'll use that.
See if you can reach it with your drow hand.
I'll unsling my drow arm and like lean out with it to touch.
Okay.
Reach out with a dismembered arm.
A tentacle.
Can you just tell me which side you're going to? Just move your
Right.
token.
Nope. to. Well, I'll stand here and I'll try and reach out.
Okay. I'll
am.
be there. You're. It's probably a bit sticky. The hand now. It's really an arm, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is an arm. It's a whole arm. That's why I use it to
yeah.
reach.
And like it smells.
It's not that long since we got it.
No,
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days. Yeah, a couple of long rests. And you kind of like bat a couple of the tentacle with it, and the tentacle kind of like just there writhing away.
Oh, so it doesn't try and grip? No.
No, it doesn't try to grab it. No, the arm doesn't try to grab it, and the tentacle doesn't try to grab at the arm.
Okay.
Can I use my divine sense to figure out if these are celestial fiends or undead?
Yeah.
You sense a undead arm on your shoulder.
No, one of them's hiding behind tissue paper. So
a drow arm.
It's like a paladin divine sense. It's like
It's not that good, if I remember correctly.
Where's Iggy when you need him with all this dwarvish
The
stuff?
presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor. A powerful good ring rings like heavenly music to your ears. As an action, you can open up your awareness to detect such forces.
and it's
Until the
60
end of your
feet.
next turn, 60 feet, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead.
But they
Um,
can't be
Not,
behind
but it's
the wall,
not
right?
behind total cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They.
And if Count Strahd is here, you're not supposed to tell me. Or we'll just assume he is.
Yeah, well,
Are any
He
of
is.
us pinging?
and he jumps at you.
We all ping. The gunpowder pings.
So, no, you do not detect the presence of celestial feed or undead.
Okay, let me just
If-
double check how long this lasts.
If you could,
Actually, it doesn't say how long it
it's not
lasts.
an action, so it'll be an immediate thing then.
Yes, it's an immediate. Yeah.
So clearly, Count Strahd von Zarevich is under total cover.
He's just round that corner up ahead.
It's just got a fan, and he's just wafting his face with it.
Yeah.
These tentacles, they don't seem so bad. We live alone, they leave us alone, I think.
Keep going then.
That's reasonable. Let's push on.
So you guys going? Let's go.
On the road again.
Okay, see you, Ods. Bye.
Odie, you gonna go get your barrel?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it along. Make sure that nothing.
Oh, get with
reaches
me,
out.
Od. Get with me, Od.
As we all leg it away from Odie.
Can I search for traps as we move along? I guess
Zerelda reckons that she's safer there. Okay, roll a perception check.
in the tower.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Cool. That's
I feel like this is about the distance that Oda bit at the moment.
Or Zerelda's decided that's about the distance she wants you to be. You don't spot anything obvious as you're kind of moving along, Aldred. And as you're kind of going along, the tentacles, as I described, are like writhing towards you, and then kind of like as you look back down the corridor, down the room, you see that they become more inert, and then finally inert at the back end of the room.
Weird.
Does it look like them dwarven statues have moved at all?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Oh, the corridor to the left as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go as
I'll-
far as
I'll
the
go-
corridor.
Yeah, I was going to gesture to Fenn and get him to look around the corner.
Is there any tentacles blocking the way to the corridor on the left?
No, they're just on the main wall.
I'll head towards there then.
Okay.
Oh god, get that powder keg away from me.
Following us.
Tally ho, 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 hobnobbing hobgoblins.
Okay, yeah. So it's a stone door, pretty much like the rest of the stone doors.
Double door or single door, guys?
Let's try the big ones. They're in front
Try the
of us.
big one first.
So I'll come up. Do I look? Does anything look trapped?
Investigation roll.
Skills.
Can I investigate the dwarven statues?
Yeah. Investigation roll into the tower for me, please. So Fenn, they look to be pretty much stone statues, pretty well made, definite dwarven design. You think the Mielikki dwarves? You read a book on this a little while ago.
Mielikkian dwarves.
Mielikki,
Oh.
the dwarves that were rumoured to have founded Undermountain.
Right, triggered me
Carrion,
there.
you can't see anything kind of trap-like on that door.
I will attempt to open the door then.
Okay. You push on the doors, and the doors open, and they open out into a very large room.
I thought you were going to say, and you find out it's a pool door.
Okay, so let me see. So you can see 60 feet. I'm assuming that...
Just assume that dark vision's been cast, and if it's been more than 8 hours, pull me up on it.
Yeah. So it opens out into a huge room. 30-foot high vaulted ceiling, very similar to the one that you've kind of come through. Every so often there are thick stone vaulted pillars that rise up to help the ceiling, and the ceiling is kind of arched in that way that you find in crypts and vaults and such like. It looks lovely. There are huge skeletons of what you think are dragons, just the bones, nothing else, and they're held together, you see quickly, by what looks to be wire and cement maybe. You can't tell exactly how many there are. There's one definitely in front of you, and it's just kind of gently swinging on the breeze, and you can hear the rope that is holding it to the ceiling just kind of creak.
I will quickly switch my sight to see through Nix's eyes to see if I can see a bit further.
Okay.
120.
120.
Nix is looking at the tentacles.
Yeah. Nix is looking backwards.
Okay, so you see further, and you can see a number of dragons. There's at least another couple of dragon skeletons in addition, so you've seen 3 from where you are. All very similar. You don't know enough about dragons to know whether they're different breeds or anything like that.
There appears to be dragons. Well, dead dragons.
Oh.
But that's not necessarily an issue for certain people.
How much is Dragonborn worth?
Anyone know? Anyone use it as a component?
No, not yet anyway.
Why do dwarves have dragons? It's like a museum.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Can we...
Museums generally tend to have things in.
But why are there tentacles here?
Why are there dragons here?
Why are we?
I've been asking myself that every step of the way so far, but it's sometimes better not to ask.
I'll pull my sight back to myself and I'll walk into the...
Yep. Okay. As you walk in, dual gems, poo, 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 again, kind of illuminate the whole of the room.
Does it get more in the sort of pulsing? Does that get more intense as the further we go towards this door?
No, not particularly. It's you know, like as if you're in light activated rooms. When lights come on when you go into it, it's very much like that.
Like motion sensor.
Yeah. It's a huge room. It's what 100 and it's
Are these like
185
huge
feet
dragons?
across. There are 5 skeletons that you can see. There's one in this alcove down towards the bottom. And as you kind of like get into there, you can see that they're in a state of disrepair. Some of them appear to have bones that are broken off and fallen on the floor and kind of carry, and you start to crunch accidentally on what looks to be maybe part of a wing bone or something like that. And their heads... and like some of them are missing teeth from the jaws. The wings are kind of up like this, and they're just gently kind of swinging. As you kind of see, as the light spreads down towards the bottom end of the room, a set of gems light up around an entrance to what looks to be a corridor below, but it's dark below that. And the gems start to form what you think are Death-Ek runes, which is the text of the Dwarvish language. The wings and feet of the dragons barely clear the floor as they gently swing, and you kind of got to kind of move. If you wanted to clear the whole room, you'd have to kind of like maze your way around these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the dragon a wide berth and head towards that alcove.
Any carpets?
Sorry?
Any carpets?
Any carpets? There is a distinct lack.
Are there any dragon socks?
Distinct lack of anything like
that. So the things that are holding the dragons together, do they look like there's cogs, or do they just purely look like they're stuck there for support?
So it's like bones that are fused together with wire and what looks to be cement.
Right. So that doesn't look like there's any moving parts to it.
No.
Oh. Shit, yeah, the bombs appeared behind me. I'm going to hurry up.
I know, yeah!
I'm more scared of that than I am of the undead dragon.
Zerelda, get in here.
I'm going to go the other side.
Everyone's opinion of me changed recently.
So, yeah, as you kind of like clamber, some of you can't help but kind of like lean or brush against one of them, and they just swing a little bit further. Open, as you're kind of like moving along in your plate armor, you kind of knock one, and a fragment of bone just drops off and falls to the floor. Everybody like looks around in slight bit of surprise. These things aren't getting animated or anything on those lines there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any loose teeth about?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna collect some dragon teeth.
Yeah.
I'd have had a loose teeth or two as well.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Just add dragon teeth to your inventory. You can get up to like maybe 5.
Cool.
Okay.
The one that is in this dedicated alcove there is the largest.
Can I see anything around it? Is it just the dragon?
Yeah, it's just the dragon.
Can I do any check to see if they're metallic or chromatic?
You'd have to be familiar with like bone structure of particular.
Yeah.
Well, the blue's got a dead giveaway with a big horn.
Same set for the black.
Yeah, it's got 2 big horns.
Yeah. Okay. Make a. I don't know. Let's say Arcana check is probably the best.
Perfect.
Anybody who's interested can make an Arcana check.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
Oh, what happened there? I lost Discord for a minute.
Clearly, Fenn didn't get a dragon on.
No.
Okay, cool. So Aldred and Ode, you kind of like start chatting and looking at it and kind of going, well, I think the femur on this one indicates that this one is a silver dragon. Yes, clearly I can tell. You reckon there's probably a gold and a silver because they've got slightly longer necks and thinner bodies, more worm-like than kind of like beast-like. And you possibly reckon that there might be a copper dragon in there because, well, do you think? Oh, do you reckon? You swear blind it gave you a mischievous wink?
I was gonna say, has he got a helmet on and a trunk?
Yeah, but that's about all. It's not a blue dragon, not a black dragon, and you're pretty sure that it's not a white dragon there as well because they have like the face is a very distinct shape, the skull formation.
Okay, so what I'm taking away is I don't see any chromatic skeletons.
You see, yeah. I mean, it depends how confident you want to be in your dragon skeletal knowledge.
Yeah, to my knowledge. Yeah, I'll relay that. I guess
As if he knows everything about dragons.
between this discussion between us two, then I'll just be like, there seems to be metallic skeletons here. I don't think whatever made this.
No, they're made out of bone.
No, I don't think whatever made this
They're clearly
collection
bone.
is on the up and up.
There's no alpha lizard here.
Take an inspiration point, Fenn.
Right. Are we gonna move on then? Or
I just want to have a look behind this one to see if there's anything down the back of here.
I'm touching everything.
But what about the dragons?
Fenn, stop touching yourself.
So you find, Karen, a flat loading lorry straight out of one of our dinosaurs is missing.
Ah, excellent. Ode, I've got something for you to carry your thing on.
I don't think I've seen that film in about 200 years.
I remember some soup being an integral part of the plot.
Yeah, because they
I
keep the
remember-
microfiche in it.
I remember being much more excited about it and then being quite disappointed when I actually watched it.
Yeah.
It got 3 stars in IMDb.
Yes. So nothing else aside from the low.
Oh, wait, sorry, back. Nothing else.
I'll come back up then. What a strange room.
We seem to have bumped into the Undermountain Museum.
We might be getting disrupted. Grandma Anne. Okay, so that is that part there.
Oh, shit, the bomb.
It's got a mind of its own.
This bomb's following me.
It's like, what's that game? Bomber Boy? Bomber Man? Or something?
Yeah,
Man.
bomber.
Yeah.
Quick, get around the corner.
So what was this door at the end? Was that closed?
It's stairs.
So there's stairs that go down, yeah.
Oh.
The steps that go down are broad and shallow, similar to the ones that you encountered heading up to this level. But the gloom seems to thicken within the area, and the dim light from the gems doesn't extend at all into the stairs. It's really quite kind of strange, a demarcation line.
Didn't you chap say we were meant to be heading up?
Yeah.
I think that's the opposite way.
Yeah, the stairs don't extend very far down, and they kind of go into a smaller corridor area. And you can see that the walls have depictions of dwarves on them, and you can see on both sides of the wall there's a dwarf who's much taller than the other dwarves, and is kind of like guiding others out, or supervising mining works, such like everything about this is really kind of tall, prominent dwarven figure supervising or guiding others out into darkness. The other dwarves look reticent, as much as you can tell from the artwork, but this figure is striding outwards, not got any light sources, nothing like that, just kind of moving out in that way.
Nix, Chimera Bane. Just fly down that corridor a second, would you? It's more exciting than the nothing at it for 20.
Alright, flying down there then.
You're an owl, not a horse.
Imagine trying to make that noise with a beak. And then I'll switch to be able to see through his eyes.
That's weird when you do that, you know, because I can see
punch you on
through
the
your
nose.
eyes. It's really weird because it's like I can't see where I am, but I can just see you. And I've got to say, you're a bit fat. I can barely.
I don't think that's quite possible, old chap. But carry on.
Oh well, yeah. Compared to me.
You might not be looking at me.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. No, it's definitely. Are you finished yet?
Yes.
Right.
Stand back.
Oh, that is disconcerting. And I've got an intelligence of 2, so
better than
disconcerting is a really big word for me.
Better than being dead.
Are you threatening
another
me?
door.
Are you threatening me? I killed the Chimera. You're next. You're next, Carrion. Sleep with one eye open. It's really hard to do that with a wing as well, let me tell you.
Fortunately, I don't need to sleep. What did we say? Was it just another door?
Yes.
There's just another door down there. Do we have a look, or do we head back?
What do you already know of this floor?
This is it so far.
Yeah. I've been with them as long as you have.
I'm inclined to believe this doesn't lead to the Goblin Market.
How did these dragons get in doing these little corridors? They can't. They must have been dead before they came in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can take bone by bone now.
Flat back. Took forever. So the reason you don't recognise them is because that one's head's on the body and that one's wings on that one.
Turns out they're all cardboard, paper mache.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe they're fake.
Yeah. I'm gonna go down the corridor. That dwarf looks important. That's all that mural.
I'm going to
Anyway,
put my barrel in the corner.
I'll follow Owl.
No, I'm going to follow.
I'll sit at the top. In fact, I'll sit just round the corner from the top, so I'm out of the blast range.
Don't bring that barrel down here.
The barrel is basically like an area defense.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like area defense, isn't it? Okay.
But friendly fire's turned on.
Yeah.
Couldn't you use like glyph of warding or something to actually turn it into a massive trap?
Well, the thing with the thing with glyph, I've thought about this. Wizard, glyph of warding immediately dissipates if it's not triggered and the object is moved.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Oh, we just leave it there.
So you can't carry around pieces of paper with glyphs of.
No, I meant like if you left, let's say you wanted to like, yeah, if you wanted to check this, I don't know, keep this corridor like locked down and guarded.
Oh yeah.
You could put the barrel there and a glyph of warding and just do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Half an hour later, we
You're
hear a
covered.
massive bang and an earthquake
Yeah.
starts. We know someone's triggered it.
I need that gunpowder.
It's a very complicated way to do an alarm spell, I have to say.
I know. Yeah.
But no one's got any silver wire, so we just had to put up with what we have.
I'll check this door. I'll inspect it.
Okay, make me investigation roll into the tower.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you don't find anything obviously wrong with it.
Anything untoward?
I push it open.
It opens.
Every time you push it open, is it with the drawer?
No, that's back on the bag. It was getting a bit squishy.
It opens out into a simple room. There's a broken stone bench in the middle of the room, which has got the skeletal remains of a humanoid in rotting leather armour. There's a vestigial tail and what look to be little horn things on the top of the skeleton. There's a tattered backpack which is kind of rotten or rusted away. But other than that, it looks as if it was some form of shrine. The carvings on the walls carry through, and the back face has this single figure depicted kind of standing proud atop what looks to be a rocky outcrop. There's some stalagmites and stalactites in the background to kind of suggest that it's underground. And you see emblazoned on the shield that it has the symbol of Damathion, which is essentially a mountain with a gem in the centre of it.
Mm. It's a dragonborn.
You don't think it's large enough to be a dragonborn?
Oh,
Tiefling?
Could it be some sort of half-dragon?
I will cautiously step into the room.
Okay. The room is cautiously stepped into.
And there's nothing else on any of the other walls as I come in. And then Ode just sprints in.
Ode's like stretching because he's been able to put down the bloody barrel.
Loosen up.
I'm going to inspect the body and see what it is, if I can figure out what.
A tiefling is a pretty good guess. It looks as if it's been dead for a while. Yeah, it's rotted away, and the contents of the backpack and such like have rotted away. There's a quarterstaff that it's holding, but do you know how wood gets really dried out and quite brittle?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So no magic items.
I think we found a tomb. Of what? I'd assume this would be dwarven.
Why would tomb be near museum?
Clearly, this place used to be some sort of dwarven, I guess, museum before whatever happened.
Why would dwarves have a tiefling down here?
Unless
this is...
we could all die, and then people would be asking why.
You say the team
We would be here.
was holding a gem.
No.
The quarterstaff.
Yeah.
Maybe we should leave before we die here?
Mm-hmm.
So on the back wall, carved into the wall, there's a picture of the dwarf standing proud, and they have the symbol of Damation in their on their shield, and the symbol of Damation is a mountain in profile with a gem in the center of it.
Can we make checks to see
I'm
if
gonna
there's
go
any more
inspect
information we
that,
can glean from that?
Sorry, Martin. What did you say? Make checks.
Can we make some sort of religion check to see if that's got any relevance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah. Let's go religion.
Religion! Oh!
Maybe this is an enemy they slid. The tiefling. The
Maybe
proud
we got
of.
locked in here after getting to.
Open, are you making a religion check?
Here we go.
Okay, cool.
boy.
So Oban and Aldred, you clearly recognise the symbolism. This does feel like a temple of Damation. Damation is the kind of like guide in the darkness of the dwarven religion. And you also recall that the under halls were originally a dwarven settlement, so it kind of makes sense that they would have dwarven kind of religions, and Damation would be important to the dwarves here on account of it being underground and him being the custodian of that kind of stuff. This feels very much like a shrine off the main body of a temple area. So, not so much in the Church of Mielikki, because it's slightly more informal, but in some of the more formal religions, you would have the main temple dedicated to the god, and then kind of like the equivalent of saints would have their own individual shrines around. So this might have been a hero of the religion or what have you, possibly. But that place was back several thousand years ago. This is probably an adventurer who's kind of stumbled in here and has died here in some way.
Yeah, can I inspect the body to see if I can ascertain how they died?
I'll inspect their pack.
Okay, so inspect the body, make an investigation roll.
Is it investigation or medicine?
It's investigation at this point.
He's dead, Jim.
Shame.
Yeah, this is way past the crime scene happening.
No clue.
Yeah, they died of stopping living. And,
Killed by death.
yeah.
I don't think I've rolled above a 10 yet tonight.
And as you start to kind of look at the pack, it kind of rots away, and the rusted metal, anything metal, kind of rusts away, as just like turns into dust in front of you.
Yeah.
I want to inspect the mural on the back wall.
Okay, you go and inspect the mural on the back wall. It is it's of average artistic qualities, you reckon? Anything in particular you're looking for?
Yeah. I just want to see if there's any lumps and bumps, anything that'd push in or move.
No, you're kind of starting to look for that kind of stuff, and you don't find anything, I'm afraid. But you're strangely attracted to the dwarf. You don't know why. You just get down to one of those things.
Head back then.
Yeah, this is some kind of shrine. I'll head that.
Okay.
Yep. I will move as soon as there's people in front to take sneaking enemies that may be coming behind us.
I'm gonna nip up here and I'm gonna move the barrel to the top of the stairs in front of it. And then I'm gonna run off.
I'm gonna wait till everyone leaves, and I'm gonna put some coins on the pedestal thing as I leave, as almost an offering. Silently put it on, and then kind of say in my head protect us in the Undermountain, and then I'll turn to leave.
Okay, how much coin?
5 gold, I'll leave.
5 gold. 5? Could you see only 5 gold? Tightwad.
That's a lot of gold.
Gold's a lot.
Yeah,
It's 500. It's 50 quid.
We've got quite a tight DM. So...
You make a fair point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then
No.
Look at Zerelda go.
So Fenn, you can have advantage on the next 3 rolls that you make in Undermine.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So Fenn, could you make me a roll to avoid hitting one of the dragons? Let's say you have to make 4 rolls. Dex check. Get back.
I'll just put advantage on now.
Was there not a door down this?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say.
there is.
Let's check that one. Zerelda. Go check
Zerelda
that door.
slams the doors and welds them
I'm
shut.
going to check that one. Oh, hang on, there's another door here. I'll go check this out. I'll leave the barrel up there.
Oh no, is that not just a dragon statue?
That's a dragon alcove. I've been there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about this door up here.
His sneaking is taking too long. And I'm just gonna walk.
Paladin style, I like it.
He's about my leak. My sneak.
My sneaky.
Yeah. So the paladin with a passive perception of 11 goes up there. Okay. So what are you doing, guys?
I'm gonna move
he's
further
checking
away
that
from
door,
the
isn't
keg.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it. I'm not checking it. I'm opening it.
Okay. You open the door.
Ooh.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
So I'll just reveal and then I'll describe. So it opens out into a room. Roughly rectangular room. The first thing that catches your eye is the fact that there is a square creature with legs and little wings marching around 4 statues. It kind of looks up at you but doesn't really respond other than to kind of like note your presence. Let me get you a picture of what it looks like. It is
I think I know.
it looks like that.
Ah.
Do it. But I was expecting a mod room.
Yeah, what a weird little thing.
It's a baby carrion.
I mean, that's a logical assumption based on everything we know, to be honest.
You know nothing about what I am.
It is of medium height, so it probably tops out about 5, maybe 4.5 feet, and it's just click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack around the room.
It's walking.
Yes.
Or marching around.
You're marching around, and it's describing kind of like a big circle around these 4 pillars. These 4 pillars are essentially white marble, it looks to be, and each has been shaped in the likeness of a female elf, flowing robes, and they've got a flowering branch that they're clutching to their chest, and the female elves face inward, so they all face towards the centre of the room.
Oh,
Oh, I can see this. Somebody's trying to cheat.
It's just unmuted background.
oh.
Weird.
Could I recognise any of these figures?
2
Are they of any?
seconds. And the walls
No,
are
no, no,
carved all the way around with bas reliefs of unicorns and bare branched trees. So you want to, yes, unicorns, the symbol of Mielikki. But it's not stylized in the way that the symbol of Mielikki is stylized.
I guess straight away I'll turn around and just be like, this room very different, and there is a box person. box man.
Boxman.
Okay.
Boxman, you will identify yourself.
I'm getting RoboCop vibes from Oban.
We have 16 seconds to comply. You have 10 seconds to comply.
It kind of like keeps on walking and kind of like looks at you and goes like
of course.
R2D2.
We
I
won't
do not
speak in
talk,
language.
boxman.
Surely it's like it's 5 seconds to comply. So it's a beatbox man.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah, I do.
a corridor leading down to the that side, and then there's a doorway to the other side.
That's where the explosive stuff is, so I'm going to come into the room.
Yeah, so as soon as Aldred kind of gets a good view of the room, he'll be like, elves and dwarves, huh? This must have been a long time ago.
This building makes no sense.
Oban, make me a perception check into the tower, please.
Into a tower, 1 second.
Oh, I've lost my tower now. Well.
I noticed that everyone's hesitant to jump in the middle of
Perception.
Zerelda doesn't do that yet. Just open.
Has that worked?
Yeah, it has. Okay. You can hear the soft breathing of a figure down this corridor to your right.
Some bloody good ears.
I think there is of a person down corridor, yes? Point to the corridor.
Yeah.
Maybe... Oh, is the box man breathing as well?
He's
Or
not
is it
breathing,
like...
No.
I don't think it's another box man. Orc, you go look.
Orc? Ooh.
Don't stay in for
I'll
that.
like scowl at him and I'll wander over there.
Are you going through the centre? Are you going through the centre like that?
Yeah, I'll go directly through the centre
Okay.
Oh, you madman.
and I'll go to there.
Okay, so you go to there, so you can see down there like that. Okay. So you can see that there's a corridor that kind of extends further down, and that there are a number of other entrances that kind of come off to the side. You can hear kind of definitely some breathing down there. And kind of like soft words being spoken.
I'm going to stealth up to the first like opening
Okay.
and like
Right now.
peer around.
Aldred getting brave.
No, I'm not that brave. I thought he was going further.
Do you want me to roll a stealth?
If you want to do it stealthily, do
Yeah.
it into the tower for me, please.
Oh, I've still got advantage on it. I didn't mean to. Oh,
Oh no, you should have. Is it not
Yeah.
like forced on the next few checks you do?
yeah. So I got
Yeah.
advantage on stealth.
Okay, so that's one of them. Okay, so you see 4 figures that are there. They are stone figures,
Oh.
but they're really perfect stone. You suspect that they're probably petrified rather than they are sculpted. And these are medium frog men. You recognise to be bullywugs. And there are 4 of them.
Do they look terrified, or are they just chilling?
And they're breathing.
No, they're not breathing. They're stone.
Do they look terrified, like terrified statues, or do they look like
I
they're
don't
just
know.
chilling?
I don't know. Fenn told you that they're there.
Not yet.
This
Oh.
quadrone is continuing to march around. By the way, it doesn't stop, even though
Okay.
clearly.
Do you hear breathing too?
Yes. But there's some stone figures. They're not breathing. Must be further in. I'll
More
keep going.
dwarves? More statues?
No, frog statues. I'll go to the next one.
Okay.
I'm not going to stealth though. I'll just like walk casually.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay. And in here there are more statues, but these statues are creatures that you have fought before. I think you've fought them before. Oh no, you haven't fought them before actually.
What on earth?
Again, stone.
Oh.
They are medium, but they're like big snakes. They've got beaks and they've got these 4 tentacles, like octopus's tentacles that come out of their heads.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
Oh, them.
I have a horrible feeling these things didn't get turned into stone by choice.
Who would want to get turned into statue by choice?
He makes a good point.
Good point.
Is that dwarfing?
I think I have a spell that can do that.
Is that a dwarf thing?
Maybe.
Hey, stop
Could have
Oban.
asked Iggy.
Stop kink shaming them.
I'll go to the next. I'll go to the next gap and look in.
King shaming is my king.
Oh shit! How'd you answer that?
You just scream. You just scream. That's all you can do.
Yes, you gotta scream, yeah.
So that's that. Okay.
I'm only assuming that this stream was lacking Vine references until I joined, so I thought I'd bring that to the group.
Oh, they're always fun.
Again, stone. Medium. Huge, like flea-like creatures with big scrubers. You recognise them immediately to be rust monsters.
Rust monsters. Shit. This is like a museum of stone creatures again.
Are they actually? Are they putting out Are they put out in a way that looks like a display though?
Where's the? Hang on. Can I do a perception to see if does that breathing sound a lot closer now? Which way does it sound like it's coming from?
Perception roll into the tower, please.
Oh, I've got advantage as well.
It's got a little bit more kind of panicky, and you can hear some scraping of feet on stone.
Like it's running away.
No, like it's kind of like trying to, well, maybe backing away slowly, I guess.
So have you been stealthing down there?
No, he hasn't.
No.
Casual walk.
I'll go to there.
Okay. And that is that one.
Oh.
No, good.
There are drow. Stone drow.
Oh.
Do you recognise them? In fact, one of them's missing an arm in a suspicious place. These two look kind of scared, I guess, or at least they're in action poses.
But are any of these creatures are any of them laid out in a way that makes it look like a museum display?
No, it's not like a wax museum or anything like that.
Yeah, okay.
Keep going. See what's next.
It's not
Fascinating.
It's on display or not?
I've got a bad feeling about this. I was going to shout down the corridor. Is anybody there?
Yes, we're still here.
Yes, we are here.
Apart from you guys.
Second too early.
Alright. Who are you?
Adventurers, who are you?
It's Kesselin. It's a female voice.
Castlein?
Yeah.
Are you from Miss Temple?
Well, not really. I'm one of Rizlin's crew.
Who's Rizlin?
Powerful mage.
We've got a powerful mage with us. He might know Rislin.
Come a bit closer so I can see you.
Why don't you come closer?
Okay.
Assuming that we can we hear all this? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, let's have a little look. See here. Let's find the token.
I can see we're all XCOMing against the wall.
Yeah. We had a bad experience the last 3 session back.
So coming
That's
out of
what
the
you read
kind
in.
of like gloom, there is a human female, but quite small, and you can tell that she's a weirrat in a hybrid form. She's kind of got a short sword in one hand and a dagger in the other, and she kind of sniffs and peens.
I just realised it's a top-down view of a person.
Yeah.
It looks like a predator head.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's a human predator.
She kind of stops there.
What are you doing down here?
She can kind of see Oban next to you. I've got a friend down here.
Are you looking for friend, or is friend with you now?
Friend's been turned to stone.
Oh.
Which one?
Oh, it's beautiful. This one. She looks like a bit of a street urchin. She's got that kind of like vibe about her. Half rat, half street urchin.
I'll kind of approach very slowly and
Cautious.
non-threateningly.
Yeah.
The giant guy in armour.
Finish your question, Fenn. Finish your question.
Can your powerful mage make him back? Zerelda will help. He'll have a reward. And the stuff that I can do. If you can get me my Zarn back.
Where's the rest of the crew?
They're back at Rislin's. I sneak out here because I like to see my Zarn. He's got lovely eyes.
Not me or Oban.
Zarn.
Oh. How did it turn to stone?
The big, really big wizard did it, I think.
A big wizard? In this temple?
I don't know. I think it just keeps me. I've seen the big wizard take these ones and turn them back, but I don't know what he does. He does it and she points behind you.
Oh, shit.
How long has your friend been petrified?
I don't know. There's no like light down here, so I don't know. A long time.
Years?
I'd like him to come back, and then we can go and get married, like we said we were going to. Well,
We will.
I mean, he
we
would have
will
said that
try
in
to.
time. I mean, he didn't actually say that, but I'm sure he would do. I mean, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? When you've got a woman like me after you, then you're gonna, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah.
I think he would, yes.
Yeah, you're right. I know it, yeah. Okay, so where you are, Fenn, you can see these now. So let me just get these out. So, oh yeah, you've encountered these guys as well before. Troglodytes.
Oh. Punch it.
You hurt your hand on the carabin stone.
Bit smelly.
Aldred, what do you know about petrification?
What does Aldred know about petrification?
It's the act of turning things to stone. You can use the petrify spell.
I suppose in context to this conversation that's been going on, it wouldn't be a wild guess to say that these creatures are being used for parts.
You've not seen any of them not whole.
Yeah.
And weirdly, in this room here, there are 6 goats.
Aldred, our lovely lady friend here suggests this is the work of a wizard. This is like a giant chess set. You ask me.
I don't know. It seems a bit more sinister than that.
He can turn them back. He turns them back in that room. I don't know what it does. Maybe the square knows, but he just whistles and beeps. He's no use to anybody. But I've seen them together.
Do not waste time with
The
boxmen.
bad wizard calls him Halastron.
Does the square man move the stone people around?
The bad wizard floats them down.
Halastron.
She's kind of like starts to preen her face.
Do you know what is?
Where is the wizard?
I don't know. I try to keep out of his way. He roams everywhere. Rizaril says that he's the master of the place, and we shouldn't make him annoyed.
Oh crap! What's the name of the wizard who runs Under Mountain?
Alistair.
Yeah. Is this one of his play areas?
I mean, technically, the whole of Vandermountain is his play area, but
Aldred
This is
says
like- yeah,
it
but this is
exactly
like-
like that. That was exactly what Aldred said as well. So technically,
We've just
I
found
think you'll find.
his stock room.
actually,
Yeah, but have we just found his stock room?
it might not be Halaster, but it's too difficult to say. Let's just there's a statue that she wants us to remove.
Yeah,
from this
where's
place.
your friend's statue?
the bottom one at the end.
And which way?
So she heads off into the darkness.
Alright.
Oh, and we're running after her, are we? Okay.
Is there like darkness that we can't see into? Or...
No, it's just that I need to
Oh.
do that. To
I'm
reveal it.
going to wait here.
That's a lot of rooms.
I also. Wait a sec, someone's knocking at my door.
Someone's knocking at your door.
I'm
gonna
gonna
I'm going to whisper to Oban. Do you think she's drawing us down this corridor on purpose?
We must be very careful until we know she is trustworthy. So far, I no trust her.
So rather than me dragging everything kind of like out
Yeah.
to show what you guys, so in the room that's immediately kind of so as you kind of like, are you walking down? Are you going down with her?
Yeah, cautiously.
Take the dodge action as you walk.
There's a boar in one room, a constrictor snake in one, there's a kenku in one, a lizard folk in one. In this one here, there's a mind flayer. You can't see that, can you? So the one that's that I'm just moving Fenn to the top of now is a mind flayer. Ignore this fact here because if you wanted to, you can extend the dungeon out, but that ends in a wall, just like all the rest.
Oh my god, this is way more massive than I thought it was.
In this one up here, there's a Nothic. So if you don't know what a Nothic looks like,
Next door's pizza had arrived.
oh, that's good.
Next door.
Yeah.
That is what a Nothic looks like.
That's similar to the bloke delivering the pizza.
There is a really big, well-built, powerful orc. In one room,
Thank you.
there's a large zook in the next one, so a giant badger. A quaggoth in this one, and then there is a human. Kind
I
of
was
looks in this one where she stood over.
I was
Okay.
literally about to whisper to Ode, "Oh, at least there's no orcs," and then we see an orc. God damn it! Hey,
And she
don't
gazes.
need any more orcs. His collection, we'll be all right.
She gazes up at this statue, which kind of like just looks pretty nonchalant in the way it stood. It's a wiry young man grasping a short sword. It's human, and she looks up at him, and she looks up with him with kind of like clear affection in her eyes.
How much
Does
dust
he-
is there on
Does he
this?
look? Sorry.
And is it like covered in dust and cobwebs? Like it's been here a while.
especially now,
Does it look fairly like? Or is there any scrapings in the ground that look fresh, like it's been moved here recently?
Not really.
Does the statue look were-ratish as well? Were-rat-like?
Possibly. It looks urchin-like, but there's nothing to suggest. It's not in hybrid form. It's a human.
Some bug teeth.
I'll say so. Where are you two from then? You and Lado here.
Rizral's gang and Zarn, he's there too. I think I came down to the sewers from Waterdeep. I don't like to talk about it.
How long have you been down here, do you think?
I don't know. I was only just able to walk when I ran away.
I know that losing a loved one is hard, but any information will help us help you.
Well, I don't know much more. I mean, Hallis, the bad wizard, he floats them down the corridor and he talks to that other creature, and then they become like real. Rizral will know. I can take you back to Rizral. We can sneak past the Deadeye's watch post if we're careful, and then Rizral can maybe tell you.
We can talk on the way backward. I think we should leave
Talks to which
Palaster's storage room.
Do you know what is at other side of Boxman room? I point to the far, the way we came.
That way. I don't know. Let me just check my notes.
If you could just give us notes, that would speed things up.
I'm going to go left, right, and then avoid that guy, then sneak, and then go.
She's like, well, I've done a speed run, and what you got to do?
Actually, to get here, I actually glitched through a wall, so I'm not entirely sure.
You gotta throw a grenade and then jump, and you.
I think I'm going to be banned when the devs find out.
I jumped off a tower in water and ended up just falling through the map.
I did that. God. I did that in Destiny. I actually like glitch through into like an entire area of a map that wasn't built yet.
Yeah.
So good.
I've been in there before. I think it's just like tombs, but I think there's some owl bears trapped in there and are pretty hungry.
We haven't fought them yet.
Owl bear.
What is owlbear?
It's like an owl, like that's also a bear.
It makes sense.
Imagine if Nyx had sex with a bear.
Well,
Nyx is like, bear. Oh, yeah.
surely, half-bear.
I want to be his familiar. He's got
See, Oban's
Karen turns to
a bear that big.
An owl with like a bear's head. Like, that's not too bad.
Carrion turns to Fenn and is just like, will you not put thoughts like that in his head? I can hear him.
You're rather bare there, Bear. Oh yeah, I'm a comedian.
I think we should grab this statue and go. Let's not spend any more.
Wait, have you tried moving him out of here before?
I'm not strong enough to move him. Like she comes up and tries to tug at his hands, and she can't move him.
I could try.
Where do you stay when you're not in here? How far is it?
Rizral's. Oh, it's to the north. I could sneak you past the Deadeye's watch post.
What's the Deadeye's watch post?
We can talk about this as we walk down the corridor.
Oh.
They're trying to. Rizral says that they're trying to pressure this place and trying to force the Goblin Market out.
Well, looking to go to the Goblin Market.
Well, maybe Rizal will be able to help you if you're able to turn Zarn back.
Did you say the creature turns them to stone? That little box person?
I don't know. The bad wizard floats them down and is always talking to that creature. He calls him Halastron.
Maybe Boxman could.
Yeah, should we take it to the pillars and ask him to change it?
let's just get this statue moved. We shouldn't be spending any more time here than we have to.
I'll go try move the statue.
Cool, what's your strength?
It is. I get 16. Yeah, 16.
You can probably drag it, but yeah, you are dragging the statue. So you
Can somebody help me? Is that
I can help you.
little help?
I'll help you if you give me help with my barrel.
Fenn's offered to help.
Any other offers?
I'll help you. I'll help.
Zerelda's,
I have a negative strength mark.
Zerelda's realised that she's too close to the barrel.
And she's walking. She's glitching through walls.
I'll accept Finn's help.
Yeah, okay.
Finn, get over here.
Finn.
Is that how he
Ben,
pronounces?
Ben, sorry.
No, I quite like that because that sounds
Finn.
like a Russian. I thought you were just doing it with a Russian.
Finn, yeah.
Finn.
Finn's help doesn't really help, in fairness. So you reckon
Even just secretly
Pivot.
sitting on the edge of it.
Pivot. Pivot.
Pivot!
you kind of
I'm
put
liking
That's
the
actually
Friends
really-
reference.
That's actually a really difficult word to say with a Russian accent.
you need to put your back into it. That's all.
Hey.
That's what I was saying.
If Iggy was still alive, he'd tell you Ode could.
So you're gonna be there for a little while, but you can kind of like drag, pause it down to there.
Yeah, down to the box man
Cool.
again.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get the box, man.
Probably gonna take
that
you
you
say
a bit
10 or
more
15
off?
minutes. What's up? Sorry, Ode.
Does any of it fall off? I'm at risk of falling off.
No, not really.
And I assume she follows us.
Yeah, she follows you. She's like, "Oh, thank you so much. Rizzle will really help you." Then she kind of gets to here, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." She kind of like just goes off there a little bit up there.
Huh.
Is she like avoiding the box man?
A little
On the
bit,
middle,
yeah.
the middle.
Zunk, and then she kind of like moves there.
I'm actually gonna like block his path.
Zunk.
Looks like he's a problem solver.
Do you recognise this sound? Does anyone recognise the language?
Wait, it just said something.
I'm gonna try grab the thing.
Okay. When you say grab the thing, you like as in like stop it
Just
and
like-
hold it.
Yeah, essentially,
okay.
yeah.
So grappling check, isn't it? So what you make
Is that athletics?
and it gets to choose what it does. It's gonna make a. In fact, yeah, it's neutral, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Boom. It's gonna choose to try to dodge out of the way. Yeah. Song underneath your legs. And
At this point, Oban is like getting really frustrated.
Goes and tackles it.
No, attack the box. Right, can I perception or investigation and look in the middle of these pillars? Is there anything different, or is there anything?
Yeah, Oban's in the middle now.
Is there anything like written anywhere, or like any strange
Investigation check
plot?
into the tower for me, please.
Investigation.
And none of us recognise the language that this is speaking.
No, none of you speak that language.
That'd be my last advantage, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You kind of like looking around, other than the fact that there are a few kind of like scuff marks on the ground where it looks like things have been placed and kind of like moved around or dropped onto it a little bit. There's nothing obvious. Clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack. Suddenly becomes blankety blank, blankety blank.
Can we drag the statue into the middle of the four pillars?
Yeah, you move the statue into the middle.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's catching me. This is like some kind of mini game that opened up.
Yes, hang on a minute. I've seen this in games before. Somebody needs to stand in a different position to trap them.
Oban, drag it into the middle.
Dragging statue. I'll drag the statue in the middle.
Yep. Okay. You drag it to the middle.
And I'll ask the woman, is this where they get turned to stone?
Yeah. I think so. I'm usually I don't try to get too close.
What did you say this creature's name was?
Halastron. That's what the bad mage calls it.
Halastron.
It kind of stops and looks at you.
Oh.
Can you turn this creature back from stone, please?
It kind of tilts its head to the side. And then like a little monocle goes. And then it projects some light out, and this is like really fuzzy white clad lady.
Is it help me, Oban?
I was going to say Obi-Wan, but yeah.
OD1, oh, that would have worked.
Then
Let's leave.
I'm intrigued. I want to know what's in that next room.
I don't.
Well, we either drag this statue all the way.
I've got enough to carry at the moment.
Oh, I'm bursting for the toilet. Are we going to be taking breaks soon?
Just go around one of the corners, Aldred. You'll be fine.
Aldred's got a shy bladder when we rat females are around.
They can't see you. They're made of stone.
Yeah, okay, so it is 9 o'clock, so shall we take a 10-minute break?
Yeah.
Okay, back for 10 past. So just like before, this was the first part of a 4-hour session, and just to make the recording a little bit easier to manage and also kind of keep the episodes to a more sensible time frame in line with our previous episode length, I'm cutting this episode at this break. When the guys return, it'll be the second half of this physical session, but it will be episode 10 of season 2 for the Frauds of Waterdeep. So thank you for watching. Hope that you continue to have as much fun watching as we have playing, and we'll see you in episode 10, which will be the other side of this in-night short break. Thanks.